So 19th, it's a Q. You have the 11th, which is a K. K. And the Q is just in the back. K. Okay? That's the only difference between the spelling of the two. Okay? It's like the two variations of the Ks also in the percussions of the tongue on the palate, like in Sanskrit. Okay? In this case, the vowel is O. Ko. Koreshit. Ko. Back of the head. Image of the back of the head. What does it inspire you? Back of the head. You could write occipital bone, it wouldn't be clear. Back of the head. What does it inspire you? Throw words. Say something. There's the gateway, the jade gate, the passing in, the perception. Okay? All in the highs is there. So why does it inspire us perception and jade gate and gateway or passing into? It's the same way that the first letter is pure consciousness not doing anything. The first letter of the second series, 1, 0. Okay? 1 plus 9 is 10. Okay? It's the same thing. And the numeral value of this letter is 100. 100. Okay? We'll get to that later on. The same way that the first letter of the the second series was consciousness. But there's mind now. As the first silence, awe, it's consciousness, no mind, no nothing. It's just pure consciousness. The presence, the just as is. True God, untainted. The first letter of the second series is this intelligence. It is this divine intelligence. This is the presence of the divine incarnate that works in the world. It is the observer. This is the perceiver, the observer, the passing of consciousness into the world. Before that, there was incarnation, L, through substance crystallized, Mn, powerful, S, that pays attention. It's not perceived, that pays, the eye is that pays attention, that looks at, but there's not the interpretation of perception, the eye, that transmits with great intensity, and now you are conscious in a human, conscious in a human form, back of the head, conscious as a sentient being. This is where the nervous system appears in matter. Consciousness once it's manifested, consciousness further down the way than N and M. Okay? So it's all of that. And of course there are the people that know about the jade gate and the perception size around it, but just, you see the back of the head, if you stop thinking you're looking at the back of the head, but you're just thinking back of the head, the fact that it's someone looking forward will come to you. Okay? Understand this?
No, say that again.
If you just go to the feeling of the back of the head, feeling, and you'll eventually feel that if it's the back of the head, he's observing something. Okay? There will be the fast of consciously observing something. If you feel. Just close your eye, back of the head. It's not your back of the head, it's a back of a head in front of you. It's someone in front of you. What's he looking at? Okay? You'll get this, okay, eventually. And if it doesn't matter. With time and practice. It's the first letter of each series is consciousness. But the first one is unmanifested, non-existing. The second consciousness, 10, is consciousness intelligent. It has all the mind tools, the conceptions of 1 to 9 to fabricate the rest. And then with Ka, in this case it's complicated, but it's more complicated. It's 1 plus 9 is 10. But once you get to 10, you go, anyway, in the numerology, in the numeric way to use the system, from 1 to 10 is 10. And then you go by 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Okay, so the 11th letter's value is 20, the 12th letter's value is 30. You go in 30, and the S is 90, and the K is 100. Okay, but I just don't want to complicate your mind with the perception and the mathematics about it. Okay, not now. Okay, not this seminar. It's just that, just for this letter, it's 100. Its value, it's the 19th letter, but its value is 100. 100. So at 10, it's the consciousness in the world. So now it's consciousness in the world, okay? So throughout the planes, okay? It's stimulate your mind, but if you don't grasp everything, okay, like when you have 1, the more you add zeros, the more you multiply different planes of existing, okay? So 1, 0 is consciousness and mind, and 1, 0, 0 is consciousness and mind and body. Okay? So you got the back of the head. And all the perception aspect, the part of the brain that observes and perceives is in the back of the head. Okay? The part of the brain that is in front is the part that creates and thinks and does the moving forward. Frontal lobe. This is the occipital lobe. Just for the senses, okay? It's in the back. Ka. Okay? So, can you imagine yourself perceiving and understanding what you are observing? You know, with the ein, with the a, with the image of an eye, we were just, there's the fact of paying attention, of looking. But now you're consciously observing. I'm paying attention and getting the wisdom. It's ka is this experience. It's not just looking and pay attention, it's deducting, interpreting, understanding, becoming conscious of what is perceived. Okay? 20th letter. Re. R-E. Re. Re. R-E. A face. Someone's face, not yours. What does it evoke? An unknown person's face. No expression, just there. Don't force it to have no expression. It's the concept of a face regardless of what it looks like. Throw words. Interaction, identity, individual. This is where we become someone. When we start to consciously observe and interpret what we observe, the identity comes. But the identity here is the fact that we have the power to interact in the world. Okay? We can shape the world how we want. 2, 0. We can structure the world. It's also 200, the value. If you don't understand the 4 last letters, it means you're normal. Okay? Don't worry. So, conscious, conscious in embodied, now that you're flesh, that you're here, conscious, you have identity, and your identity as holds something, okay? For the first time, you are aware that you're not just a concept. So, and this one, really, you really need to get to the feeling. It's the fact that you're a master of something, and you hold the power of everything before. Okay? Not just an individuality. It's the pure individuality. The pure identity. The pure state of being something. Untainted, thus with all power. So, R is what summons identity or something identifiable. It's not just someone, it's something that we can identify. And it also summons the concept of intensity. It becomes more obvious. It becomes more present. It becomes easier to address because we named it, because we isolated its concept. So this is why Ra is a mantra that amplifies the energy, because you've named something before and you want it to be more obvious, more clear, more tangible. Klim Ra Ra. Ra Ra means intensify, or intensify intensely. Make it clear, make it obvious. Okay, understand it, but also address it in its most accessible manner through mind, heart, or body, whatever. Okay, so it's face, but it's not just identity and individuality in a human. It's in everything. This mirror as something that of R. Table, the cloth. Okay, everything. Okay.
Should that not be an A instead of an E then, if it's going to be Ra?
It's, for this one, it's the understanding of identity and presence, okay? But there are mantras that we say Ra Ra, not here. Now it's Re. Re. Re as in I now understand my identity. I exist as someone. I am a master of something. Okay? This is why it's A, for the Dharma aspect, the wisdom aspect. Okay? If we combine R with A, it is the presence A of this identity. So by saying Ra, you make something more present, thus you intensify it. Okay? So Dim Ra Ra, Dim Ra Ra, Dim Ra Ra, you make your body more powerful. Because Dim is the Bija mantra of the Divine Mother taking care of your body. So you want the Divine Mother to take care of your body a lot? Dim Ra Ra, Dim Ra Ra. You want her to take care of your heart? Klim Ra Ra, Klim Ra Ra. Okay? You want to be immortal? Ninna Ra Ra, Hum Ra. Okay? You can apply these techniques of immortality as much as you want. If you did not resolve the lessons of death, it won't work. You'll add 20, 40 years, but they won't work. Lessons of death, death teaches us that we own nothing, that we have no relationship and no identity. So when you get to this, Re, the identity is something you use because you're conscious, not something that is imposed and that you are enslaved to. Okay? And it's going to make sense once you charge it. Now you have a lot of intellectual understanding. You only have a few feeling basis on that. Okay? You're receiving the initiation nonetheless. When you charge it, you're going to start saying letters and words, and it's going to just, boom, be so obvious. So this is why bara, the Hebrew word for create, at the beginning, bereshit, God created. Bara Elohim. Bereshit bara Elohim et hashayim ve'et haaretz. At the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Okay? I don't speak Hebrew at all. I know words. Okay. So bara, it's the ba, the presence or organizing something, and make it obvious. Give it an identity. Bara. Create. Okay? Brahma, the name of the creator for the Hindu. It's B, structured, R, obvious, ah. And we express it through the matters. Hma. Okay? So this is why they name him Brahma. Okay? Now if you have letters and vowels that we can combine in place, you can listen to it. Even if you don't remember anything I give as examples, it doesn't matter. You're going to rewatch a video. You're going to charge it for yourself. You're going to get this wisdom inside you. Okay? Right now it's the first initiation. 21st letter. It's one letter. It's the letter SH. SH. It's one letter. But in English we say SH. It's the letter shin. Okay? Shi. And it's SH and the vowel is I. Shi. Corre shi. E. A tooth. Think of a tooth and nothing else, go get the feeling. Ah. What is common to a tooth and fire? Because the word shin means the tangible that, so it's fire. Shin is fire, and shi is just the tooth. Well, in fact, shin means tooth, and we use it also to describe fire. Anyway, this is Hebrew stuff. What is common in fire and a tooth? What is common? Speak up. You whisper from the other side. I can't hear you. What?
Break something apart.
Break something, digestion, purify, transform. Okay. Refine. Everything that transform. Break apart, cut off, transform, make other. The tooth inspires a transformation. If you go back a few hundred years, they were using tooths attached to every tool possible. Okay? It was used. Whenever it was time to transform something in something else or someone in whatever. Okay, got that? She is what transforms. Now you understand Shiva. She is, because of the E, third eye. She. What I have in mind, purely transform. Va, in everything. Shiva is the power of transformation of the entire universe, always doing its thing. She. Va, as in vast and present. So, Shiv is a transformer. And instead of Shiv, Vish is a transformer. Vishnu. Nu, the experience of being transformed. Vishnu. Everything that is created and affected by Shiva. Vishnu. Shiva and Vishnu is just a perception of the same God. Okay? Shiv or Vish. I bet they didn't tell you this in the Hindu class.
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't. We give identities to properties of a single divinity or a single oneness. And then it's not so long that we just consider them to be different people. Different is a mistake. People is a mistake. Different people is just way off. I'm calling you Shiva. If you're calling Shiva, you're speaking to Vishnu. But the aspect that transforms. Oh, my God is Vishnu. You're calling Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, whatever you pray. You pray Ganesh, you're calling the one God anyway. But on this specific property, I want him to do that. God is undefined and unword. The moment you name God, he comes into action in the way you named it. It's still the same single force. There's only one element, not five. But the one element will become the five depending on what name you give it. Okay? The primordial element, Vastu Vivarta, okay. Nice interlude in Shiva. One letter, TH. So the last letter of the first series is T. And the last letter of the entire system is the same primordial substance, but once it is expressed. T. So you have the T of 9 and the H of 5. Okay. Now it's the and the image. Okay, it's A, A, A. Because if I tell you A, it can be A or the letter E. If I tell you E, it can be the letter E or the I. Yeah. So this is why it's ta. The sound ta. And then it's not that ta like the French people say ta. Okay, it's ta like the English say tho. Okay. It's not terrific, it's terrific. It's through. I thought about it. Okay, thought. Okay, world. The image is the world. What does the image of the world inspire you? Immensity. I heard some people whisper, immensity. What did you say?
Everything.
Everything, and then?
United.
United, okay, yes, there's something complete. The world is the world. It's done. Everything is done. The work is complete. I am the Alpha and the Omega. This is the Greek interpretation of the words of Jesus, who said, I am the Aleph and the Tav, the first and the last of all of the letters. Connect to the source and completely the world. I am incarnate Christ. If you have the consciousness and take the time to realign your mind on the mind of God, and you realign your human on the plan, the original blueprint, you will be conscious and be a master to transform the world. Kareshit. Okay? Abegida hevazaret yokale minusa hafete koreshit. With practice, when you synthesize the 22, it is just once. You just feel complete God, complete everything, world, everything. It is the same feeling as silence. Yeowan in my body. But in Yeowan, you take the states of being of the soul, cause it into your flesh. So it's from soul to flesh. With this system, it's from God to universe. Okay? Big. Everything in this system is immense. And the vowels of your soul are just there to place little variations, modulations, to understand. So if you remember this code with practice, you will understand what it means, Yahweh. YHVH. Y, mind of God. H, forces, point of views. United, combining other forces and point of views. It combines things with its mind. So it's so intelligent. It is the ruler. Yahweh is not a creator. Yahweh is the ruler. It is the Lord, not the maker. Okay? He rules. He's the Holy Ghost. Yahweh is the Holy Ghost, not the Father. The Father is a Heye. The Christ is Hia. And the Holy Ghost is Yahweh. But some people don't know that, and most priests ignore that esoteric wisdom exists at all. So the Holy Ghost is the only God, of course. He created. No. He manages. He organizes. Are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Can you say that again? The three names? Yahweh.
Eheye, Hiya, Yahweh. So, Eheye, that I gave you in the mantras, that you could speed dial. Second one is Iya, I-A-H. The letters are T. 10:5. It's not 10:4. It's 10:5. But I got you. So, Ia, the Christ, is the intelligence that moves. The divine intelligence that moves things, that operates, or that is the force in motion. Yahweh is like 10:5 of Ia, but it combines forces together also. It goes further in the process. So the first name of God is Eheye, the consciousness in this world. Ia starts to move. And Yahweh, now we got the raw stuff, we can expand. Third word, expansion. Okay. Everything in this makes sense and is mathematically correct, accurate, and validated. But if you put too much attention on the maths, you're going to hate Kabbalah. You're going to hate it. Okay? Because it becomes complex if you did not first sit in the state of being. So I showed you that there are possibilities to go further. I don't want you to get in that. I'm just showing you can go further if you want. Okay? So if you want to go 7 plus 8, what's 7 plus 8?
15.
Okay? So a tool that realizes stuff is power. Will support. Okay? If with your tool you put structures of realization, you have the pillar of power. Okay? You can combine those. You can do maths just with adding and subtracting stuff. Okay? Just adding. And if you wanted to go further, you can multiply if you want to play. But the further you go in that, the more complicated it gets. And mostly with maths, you get in your head. We want you to get in your guts. Okay? Once you are completely seated in your guts, the mass will just reveal itself. Okay? So now we go Koreshit. Feel yourself as conscious. You are embodied, and you're conscious once embodied. Ka. And when you're ready, Re. Intensely, I'm someone. I exist as. I don't just exist, I exist as. She. It transforms. I operate, I destroy, I construct, I build, I make whatever I want of the world. Th. And you, at your own pace, you will go ko. Re. Shi. Th. Ko. Re. Shi. And you try to feel that I'm here and I'm here to work in the world. I'm a worker in the world. There's not the servant aspect yet. There's nothing of that. I'm just here and I operate, I act, I do, I transform, I manage in the world. And the entire universe is my field of action. Not limited to a single block on your street, everything. Because this is not you. This is divine. This is God. You're just trying to feel like Him. Koreshit. There's something very present, and you'll feel your mind and your body just saying, yep, let's do it. You become Atlas supporting the earth, the statue. Koreshit. We're going to vocalize 1 letter per second. Koreshita. Breathe in. Koreshita. One last time. Koreshita. And relax. you will have to give yourself time to practice that. If you don't practice that, it's okay. Because the fact that you were here and received the initiation and were in the energy and consciousness of this experience, you understood so much more of life and the world than before. It just snaps into place. Everything will be clearer for you from now on. Everything. Because you accepted it's all an experience. Everything's intertwined. It's all Dharma. It's intention. And everything is present. And you feel it. Okay? You accepted it. You felt it. You said, yeah, that's wonderful. Because you decided to tune into love and happiness about it. So it just comes in. Now, take the time. If you like this process and you really want to become a creator or a spellcaster or have a great deal of supernatural presence, do that. There's another thing that transforms you into a supernatural being but does not give you this type of power. It's Kuji-in. Okay? That transforms you into a supernatural being. This, you work outside and inside alike. It's the power of the spellcasters, of the demiurge, the theurgia, the great saints that do stuff, that transform stuff in other, like water and wine, or resurrect the dead and all that stuff. Okay? That's the foundation. Once you got that, I can tell you how to resurrect someone. The conditions for resurrection are extremely rare to gather. Someone has to be dead. Don't create that, okay? I just want to check if I can bring you back, and if it doesn't work, well, whatever.
What would be the karma for you?
The soul has to want in again, because if the soul wants out, forget it. The death must not be karma related. If it was a lesson imposed on the person, they still have to go through the lesson. The physical body has to be able to keep sustaining life. You don't resurrect someone with missing legs and lungs and stuff like that. Okay? You can't. The only way to bring someone back who has an organ too destroyed is also to have the power of creation. So you create a new liver and you kickstart the system again. You just reboot the body like a computer. Okay? They do that. Resurrection in ambulances. Yeah, this is what they do. But some do it with their chi. But they can't do it if they're not in tune with the primary consciousness. And be conscious of every aspect, and then you are alive. Also, the body must still be alive. The organism might not seem to be. But you know, when someone dies, the cells that don't belong on the cells that don't depend on the main system, the autonomous cells such as the hair, the skin, the nails, everything keeps living in the body for a few days, sometimes for up to 2 years. But it is within 2, 3, maximum 4 days that a resurrection can happen, because they're not dead. Okay? Jesus never said, I brought them back from the dead. The Christians said that. Jesus, each time he went to someone who seemed to be dead, said, I woke him up. Okay? The secret of resurrection is pre-mortem lethargy. It is the lethargy that we go into before the death is irreversible. Okay? So you usually have a few days. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. Okay? My experience of resurrection was like just at the moment of death. Okay? Why wait? It was my son. I just kicked him back in. But for other people that I know, it's like after a while. You know? Some people a few hours. Some people on the moment. You know the cat? On the moment of death, just kick.
No, that was the horse.
That was a horse. Okay.
For human, during that 1, 2, 3, 4 days, is there any consciousness?
That's
Oh, ghost stories. Because people are not instructed in whatever happens when we die, it kicks out the hell of someone. I'm dead! Ah! And the first reaction is, I see dead people! Fuck! Now I know why! But these are the people that are intelligent and aware. Those who are so addicted and dense in their experience, they'll just stay there and suffer the suffering they tried to avoid in their lifetime until their body dissolves. And watch the heaven and hell video again with this wisdom, and you'll understand the radiance that comes from the heavens is the silence that will plan itself and expand. Abegi. This abegi is the original radiance, and it touches everything, because 1 + 2 + 3 is 6. Okay, so this radiance is united in everything. It just exists in everything. Everything radiates the light of God here, now, at every plane. Okay, so this radiance is the heavenly light that burns our emotional and mental body when we die. The first body to die is the physical body. It degrades. And then the vital body, the chi body, will degrade. When it gets to the emotional and mental body, this is where we suffer what we did not look at when we die. This is why we call it the purgatory. It's a period where it's painful for the light to go burn it. Okay? But it's not hell. Hell is being stuck out there. And let it shine, let it shine, let it shine again for 1,000 to 1,000 years, depending on the density of the devils and everything. Okay? So, because it's too difficult to endure purgatory, we'll say, okay, I need a new host. I need to start over. It's too heavy. I'm going to go back in the body. And you start over. Okay? Someone stuck in hell wants to go back in the body. Impossible. Can't do it. They're stuck in the fires. Who pays the bill in hell? God. I mean, who pays the propane gas for the fire? Zavel? Okay. God. Who else? Okay, who would? Who pays the electricity for the lamps and everything? I mean, the acid baths and all that stuff. I mean, it comes from somewhere, does it? Where could it come from? I don't know. From another God? No. Makes no sense. Okay? Yeah.
How long does it take for the soul to leave the body?
It depends only on the amount of attachments you have. Okay? You can think that you have no attachments and still stay stuck. You're not embodied, because the moment of the pre-lethargy, you start to go off, even if you're in lethargy of pre-death. But there's something that just keeps you there. And only after a few days that there will be the severing. When the body really can't support the bond of being alive, now the true severing will happen. Okay? So when you die, you still have 3 days, if you are fully conscious, to stay in the body and pay attention to your dead body. And this is how, after 3 days of unaltered, perfect, and absolute consciousness, you can bring back your body to life. Okay? So you want to know how Jesus did it? He stayed 3 days conscious of everything that was decaying in him while the holy light was shining on him. Spent 3 days in hell. Conscious of every suffering that was left of himself and what he took from people so they wouldn't have to face it. 3 days of absolute consciousness of acceptance of all the suffering that could be, and stay aware. 3 days. And then you just take your body with you. If you don't want to face it, just don't take your body with you. But then you're not fully complete ascended. You didn't defeat everything. No?
So ascendant means that they took the body with them?
Every ascended being went with their bodies. ascended, body disappears. Almost everyone. A lot of people say, oh, I'm going to ascend, and they have a nice burial and the body is in the grave, and they were highly enlightened, and they're going to say, why the hell am I back? Why? I was like fully enlightened and everything, like Guru Ma of the White Lighthouse. You know, these people with Saint Germain, all this stuff. Saint Germain, real dude, went with his body. Guru Ma, I bet she's going to reincarnate, and I'm sure we're going to see her body in the grave, although she is fully enlightened. To a high extent, 10th Bhumi. Okay? In the sense that she exists in the world of Dharma. Not drama, Dharma. But the Dharma cloud and the drama cloud is not the same thing. The 10th Bhumi, the highest level before we become Christ, is we call the Dharma cloud. You exist in the state of wisdom. Okay? From the ascended state, this is where I came back. And I stay at 10th Bhumi. So everything is understandable. And you should practice yourself. Okay? I love human existence. Whatever you don't like of human existence, say, I have to come back. Look at what you don't like. Because it's going to bring you back if you don't resolve it. Right? If you have to get to the point that you accept that everything that seems to be suffering was just the wisdom that was being brought to those who suffer. Okay? And it takes a lot of courage to do that, but you need to get to the point to say, I don't want to suffer anymore. That's stupid. Why would I? But I understand that all the suffering that exists has a purpose. And I'm going to do everything for people to understand it. Not just resolve it, understand it. So they don't need to reproduce it to get the understanding. If you just try to save people and resolve the suffering through avoiding it, they won't get their lesson. So some guy says, does it mean that I can't give money to the poor so that they can eat because they need to be conscious of their suffering? Well, you're not the one to decide. Maybe their lesson is to see that there is compassion in the world. To give them example. Wow, he cares for me. So when you give to someone, if you're in the state of teaching Dharma, in compassion as a servant, it's okay. If you have the feeling of ego savior, keep your money in your pocket and observe yourself. Okay? So some people say, must we or must we not give to the poor? What's your state of being? You will never hear me say, you have to do this, you don't have to do that, or you must not. You'll never hear me tell a rule. You'll never hear me tell you, you must not kill or else you're a sinner. You'll never hear me say that. You will hear me, killing brings suffering, do everything in your power to avoid that. I'm not telling you not to kill. If your killing brings happiness and avoids suffering at another extent, please do. And stay conscious. But in this society, it's not your role. There are cops, militaries, people like that. Homeland Security and whatever. Okay? You have people who's got that job. It's their job. So trust them. Okay? Your job is to heal. Not to save, to heal. My job is not to heal. Been there, done that. No more. Each time I did something miraculous of a miracle level that was obvious, people in the crowd either admired me or feared me. I might have been Satan, you know. And those who admired me, it goes against the teaching I give. Inside you, find self-adoration as divine. Not pompous as I'm God, you shut up. No, not I'm God. Self-adoration as God. Knowing that the other is. When I look at you, I see Christ. I see what, at the level I exist, I only see Christ. I only see the Buddha. Not Sakyamuni Buddha. the Buddha, the only one that exists. I see Christ. I don't see Jesus. Jesus is one dude. He did it. He's got his office somewhere, which is everywhere, in fact, but still. But what I see is Christ. What you are at this level. Okay? So practice yourself at seeing it inside you. Because it's the only thing you have to do. Okay? And do not do it in a way that you are fleeing from incarnate existence. Like hiding in a cave in Fixicombe Point. But if you want to do this, please do. I teach you to get self-realization. You have to be fully embodied and act like a normal human and do everything that a human does and stay God. Then you are a Christ. Okay? Right? Break time!